Good morning, traders. It's Thursday, 26th of August 2021. Hope you've had a good trading week so far. A couple of charts of interest to me, which I'm just going to focus on, are Pound Aussie and Pound Swiss. So Pound Aussie, very strong uptrend. We've had 1, 2, 3 daily candles pulling back or correcting against the strong uptrend, and we've had this is quite important here, this smaller bodied candle. Okay, we've had these big bodies as the selling momentum kicks in, and then we've had this candle here. So this candle could be the change from sellers into buyers. Okay, almost like bouncing a ball off the floor. The ball comes down, it starts to hit the floor, it kind of compresses, and then it starts to move up again. So we may see price start pushing to the upside today. Now, what I'm personally interested in as an intraday trader is this particular level here. Okay, I'm just gonna delete that letter for a second. I've drawn this in because I've just looked at the 4-hour chart. In fact, I did this on the 1-hour chart. So let's get this right. Okay, so I noticed that this month, or just the end of last month and the beginning of this month, we do have false breaks, or we have had false breaks here. This is resistance. Okay, you can see it here as well. We had another false break here. Look, guys, when we actually had an hourly close above, well, you could either count this one or this one, that's when we went. Okay, so I'm looking for an hourly close above this level, and I've got it around 1.8953. So if we get an hourly close above there, you might even want to check it out and maybe go for a 30-minute close, but I think an hourly close would be enough. Then I'll be interested in going long on this as an intraday trader. Okay, end of day traders can have their buy stop orders above this candle here. So depends how many pips you want to put it above. If you've done that, you might have been triggered. Just depends. You have to have a look at the spread as well on your chart. You might have your own particular entry requirements, like 1 pip plus the spread, etc., etc. But as intraday traders, which is what I am, that is what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for that hourly close above this price point here, and then potentially look to go long. Okay, maybe buy stop and a stop below the swing low, for instance. So let's just say we have an hourly close above, then potentially we could put a buy stop, the hourly close above, and stop loss below this swing low, for instance. Or if you're more of a conservative trader, you might want to put your swing low, your stop loss below this, what potentially is a double bottom pattern here. So that's something I'm going to be looking out for, but who knows, we might actually be in a range. Okay, so this might not break above, it might come back down here. If it does, you can look for a rejection potentially and then look to buy. So there's a number of things that could happen, but only really one I'm interested in, and that is the hourly close above this 189.53 as a potential sign that, okay, it's going there. So really strong trend. Big move down as we correct. Is this basically the end of the correction where we've got an equal amount of buyers and sellers, and then we'll start seeing buyers come in and take control of the market once more? So that is something I am watching, or I will be watching today. Something else of interest is Euro Swissy. I was going to say it wasn't Pound Swiss. Euro Swissy. I like the fact we've got a low and a lower low. We've got a low and a higher low here. So we've got divergence, which means that potentially the MACD is telling me that this movement to the downside is dying out because we've got a low and a lower low, but a low and a higher low here. So we could be starting to see a change of trend. Possibly, okay? Not 100%. So on the hourly, we have this, or what we did have, a box range. Let's just clone that. I've deleted it now, but we had a box range and was looking for last night price to do one or two things, either reject and we can look for another move down, or the breakout. Okay, well, price has broken out now quite impulsively, in fact, as you can see. So the textbook trade is now to look for that retest of the top of the channel. Just like any level, you know, if you break resistance, we'll look for the retest. If you break support, we'll look for the retest. So it's just a case of looking for this to happen and then buyers to come in. It looks very impulsive at the moment, okay, but that's the textbook trade. Now another way you could potentially trade this is because it might not actually come back and test this, is if you use moving averages, because you might let's say this on this particular chart now, on the 1 hour, I've got an 8, a 20 and a 50 moving average. Okay, and you can actually see that from here price started to move in and out of the averages, cycle very nicely, got an impulsive move. So you could look for price to come and retest maybe the 8 moving average and then start to see buyers come in, depending on what your own personal strategy is. But that 20 EMA, I should say, is nicely around this area. So a nice test and rejection of that 20 moving average could be interesting. So you can either look for that, depending on what type of trader you are as well. You may want to place a buy limit. Okay, that's going to be down to you personally. I'm not saying to you that that is what you should do, but if you think that price is going to come back into this area and reject, and maybe you're not going to be in front of the charts, maybe you could do something like that with a buy limit around that top of these wicks here, or where that 20 moving average is, and a stop below the 50 moving average, for instance. That is something you can think about and have a look at. Okay, but I will be waiting for and looking for price to pull back. It's very impulsive at the moment. You know, you almost feel as though it's not going to pull back, and who knows, it might have like a big move like this. This is obviously to the downside, so the opposite way. Big move, little correction, big move. Just depends. We have to see what the market gives us and trade accordingly. But textbook, looking for price to come into around about 107.58 and looking for it to reject. So this one I'm going to have a close eye on today, and also pound Aussie. And I've almost forgot to put my alert back in. So let's put that in right now. And this way, guys, you know, you don't have to keep looking at the chart all the time. Because what you don't want to what you don't want to happen is that you're just, you know, sitting in front of the chart, just waiting. Okay, we want to know, or I want to know, when price breaks above this level. When it does, that's when I'm interested, and that's when I'll wait for that hourly close, okay, to see if we close above the level. So, you know, use your time wisely. You know, you can do some back testing, you can test the strategy. You don't necessarily need to sit in front of the chart waiting for pound Aussie all day. Okay, so have a great day, guys, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.